coming here as a first year, you don't know anything, you feel like you're going to mess something up, you're afraid of pretty much doing anything. But the way the clinical instructors instill confidence within you is by showing you, then watching you, and then eventually, letting you do it on your own.
One thing that's really helped me learn a lot from my clinical instructors is when they take the time to try to help me bridge the gap between research and clinical practice.
Our clinical instructors really show us how we do what we do, and they also give light that audiology is not a picture-perfect textbook, and so they really encourage us to think outside of the box.
If you ever see a very experienced audiologist do an audiogram, it kind of just looks like magic, like they know what they're doing, they know exactly what they need to do, because they do, they've done it so many times. But it was nice to be able to sit down, go through the steps, go through the reasoning, and realize that there's a method to the madness. There's a reason behind everything that we do.
In my current clinical setting, I've been very independent and been able to write my own way and inform my patients in my own voice, so that's been really helpful for me to feel more comfortable in the clinical setting moving forward.
As a first-year student, you have a lot of classes, lectures, and labs that teach you rules that are very important, especially when you're out in the real world. And I was using these a lot in clinic, and my clinic instructor came up to me and said, "You have those rules and those are important, but you definitely need to change or adapt based on patients and their personalities." And that totally changed my outlook on clinic from there on out.
I'm thinking back to a time when a clinical instructor showed me how to really interact with students who were deaf, and I had a hard time communicating with them. So she first showed me how to perform the test, and I felt comfortable performing it, but then really generalizing it to communicating with somebody who we had a language barrier, and how I could take what she showed me and really apply it to performing a real test.
I had an experience where it was a more stressful clinical setting, and the instructor really told me to put on a different mask of myself when I'm in the clinical setting, and it really showed me that I can still be myself, but I also have to portray a very confident image and a very calm image, even when I may feel the pain or the issues that the other families are dealing with.
I had a clinic instructor who asked me, what don't you have a lot of experience with? And I told her, and now every time we have a patient, I'm doing more of what I have an experience with. So it's just great that they listen to us and that they know what we need.
One time in therapy, my clinical instructor interviewed her client about his interests and hobbies and incorporated those interests into the therapy. And for the client, not only did it show that she was interested in what he was saying, but that he also played a role in the therapy. And to me, it showed that it doesn't take much to individualize the therapy, and that it's very useful for the client.
We are able to not only learn from our professors, but also from how our clinical instructors interact with patients on a day-to-day basis, and it really gives us a glimpse of what we'll be doing in the future.
I know that moving forward, I'm going to be a competent clinician in my CF because of all the experiences I was able to have with a variety of clinical instructors and clinical placements.
They are there helping you step by step, so you know exactly what you need to be doing, and there's a lot of times, especially working with kids, that you need their help, whether it's a difficult to test patient or the emotions of families. They're there to step in and kind of be that cushion for you and for the family to help with your learning and help you have confidence.
In this program, the first year you focus a lot on learning all the information, but then after that you're really, you're spending a lot more time in clinic and you're expected to apply the concepts that you've been learning. And without good clinical instructors who are there to support you and guide you, it's really difficult to apply that information and that knowledge in the clinical setting. So the clinical instruction is probably the most important part of this program.
I want to thank my clinical instructors that I've had for supporting me along the way and giving me tricks, tips, and skills to keep me growing as a clinician.
I am so grateful for all the time and effort that you've put forth to helping me grow as a student clinician.
Thanks to all of my instructors who have really taken time out to help me develop into the clinician that I'll be one day.
I wouldn't be where I am without my past instructors.
I would like to say thank you to all of the clinical instructors who have really inspired me.
Thank you to all of the clinical instructors that I've had and that I will have, and all of the impact that they've had on me in my training as a future audiologist.
You really helped to shape me into the clinician I am today, and I am thankful for how much you pushed me and encouraged me.
Thank you to all of my clinical instructors who have given me feedback, given me constructive criticism. I've really taken that to heart and learned how to apply that in the future and where I am now.
I will take a little piece of every single one of them with me throughout my career.